Bring in Christine Dennison. She is a search and rescue expert whom I have interviewed so many times, mostly about the Malaysian air disaster. But, you know, if there's anyone who knows about search and rescue operations, it's you, Christine Dennison. Can you lend some expertise right now onto what you think is happening on the ground where all of those lights are collected at the southern end of runway 33, right beside the freezing Potomac?
Hi, Ashleigh. You know, it's just so tragic, and listening to your experts just really paint a very dire situation. Again, my expertise is specifically in polar waters and in very, very cold, freezing waters. At this point, it obviously it doesn't look very hopeful. Obviously, the plane might have gone into the deepest part of the Potomac, but that is still not very deep. I think it bottoms out at maybe 80 feet, and then the shallower depths are, 20 feet, 25 feet. I don't have a clear picture from what I'm seeing if there's any light, which is what they would be doing. All the search and rescue boats would be out there with bright lights, which I think we do see in parts, but there's nothing more that we can see. Probably, I'm sure they have divers in the water searching. The probability that the plane broke up, I would think, is high, crashing from that altitude and into the water at this time. I think it's 42 degrees in the Potomac. So parts of it are frozen from the past few weeks. And the survivability in that water for people that have just experienced a horrendous fall, if anyone did survive, what condition are they in? Are they incapacitated? Are they, they're in shock, a body that is in shock, even if they did survive it, it gets cold, they get cold very, very quickly. So hypothermia sets in that much faster. The search and rescue teams are looking for anything that is on the surface at this point. If they have located any part of the plane, if it broke up, they'll have people on that. It's dark, it's cold, they have the best people out there, and they can only do so much, and that is to also follow the currents in these waters and see if there is a debris field, if there are bodies. If they're not seeing any bodies, they'll have to pick up search and rescue when it gets lighter and bring in ROVs and do an underwater rescue, which is an underwater search, which becomes much more entailed. And right now, I think everyone's just hoping for the best to be able to find something on the surface that leads them.
Christine, talk to me about those ROVs. This is a specific area of your expertise, those underwater submersibles. Would there be any of them in this darkness? Would they have been able to mobilize and deploy any of those ROVs? And would there be even reason to in the blackness of the water?
Well, certainly. The ROVs, if they were able to get them on site, I'm sure that they put that in place straight away. And ROVs are incredibly useful because they're able to read the seabed. So putting an ROV in the water allows them to conduct a search that will show them and identify what is down there in the darkness, which is something that the naked eye can't see. So they're able to, it takes some time to mobilize this type of equipment. And that is what they would be working against, is the time frame. If there was something in the area, to bring an ROV on site, to be able to launch it and have it operating, they may be doing that at this point. Again, we haven't heard anything, and we can't really see, but it does look like the first is going to be just the visible, trying to detect any movement, trying to detect a debris field, and then bring in the ROVs, which are going to be incredibly helpful in being able to retrieve the plane and the helicopter. I mean, we've got 2 aircraft down there, and it's a large-scale search. It really is.
And I can imagine, again, if this crash happened at 375 feet, like the flight tracker in the early estimates has recorded, that means that there's a long there's a long descent for that debris field to spread, and who knows with the current. If there is, again, there's ice on the Potomac and it's open. It's very fluid, and so it's a little hard to assume, how the current would take it, because again, once you break through the ice, the current continues underneath. And
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven unbiased coverage.